Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. You've probably heard the phrase, comparison is the thief of joy before. I mean, it's a nice saying, we can all agree. I mean, you'd find it saved in Pinterest boards titled maybe motivational quotes or in a caption of posts trying to sound deep. But if that's true, then social media must be the perfect crime scene. Because, let's face it, comparison isn't something that we do once in a while. It's constant. I mean, no one here wakes up in the morning and goes, wow, what a beautiful day. The sun is shining, the birds are chirping. I think the first thing I want to do today is compare myself to others. No one does that. It's scrolling through posts and wondering if you're doing enough, achieving enough, or being enough. And yet, when I talk about peer pressure, what usually comes to mind? Maybe a teenager being coerced into doing something risky like drinking or smoking or going to a party that they don't want to be at. And yeah, that's definitely a part of it, but peer pressure these days is a lot more complex and it's everywhere in ways we don't always recognize. And it's everywhere in ways we don't always recognize. To be honest, I think the way we used to talk about peer pressure doesn't really capture what it feels like for us as teens today anymore. We're not just talking about saying no to obvious bad decisions. Peer pressure has taken on a quieter, more insidious form that affects every part of our life, especially with the widespread influence of social media. When I scroll through Instagram or TikTok, I'm not just seeing people post vacation pictures or highlights of their day. I'm seeing curated perfection. I'm seeing people my age live out lives that look ideal, and I can't help but wonder, am I doing enough? It's not that someone's standing in front of me saying, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. No, it's just the pressure to keep up, to measure up, and to look like you have it all together. It's in the sense that if you're not wearing the trendiest clothes or going to the coolest places or working towards the perfect body, you're somehow falling behind everyone. But you see, here's where things get tricky. This pressure isn't about being forced into bad decisions. I mean, we can all agree working towards the perfect body or going to cool places are all good things. Yet, this pressure is about a low-level hum in the background constantly reminding you that someone out there is doing something more or better than you. And it's not just something that teens face today. Adults do too. You see it all the time when they post about their perfect relationships, their latest achievements, or recent accomplishments. The idea that your life has to be perfect in order to be worth sharing is an idea that has spanned generations now. What makes it even harder is that these pressures don't always make sense. You see, when I feel the urge to travel more or experience more, that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm unsatisfied with my current life. It just means that I've been conditioned to think that my life is less valuable if I haven't had these so-called meaningful experiences. In a way, the pressure to live up to someone else's ideal image of success is what makes me question whether I'm living my life right. But that's just one side of it. The other side is the pressure to be someone else, someone you're not. We're constantly told to be happy, to be confident and outgoing, and to stay on top of things. But what happens when we're not? What happens when we're struggling with our mental health or when we don't have our whole life planned out? Then there's this sort of expectation that we should hide it. I think one of the hardest things about all of this is that I think one of the hardest things about all of that is that this pressure can't always be seen. I mean, sure, there's the pressure from friends, and that's often visible, but what of the hidden kind? Like, when you feel like you're constantly competing, not just against others, but against an ideal image of yourself. No one talks about how emotionally draining it is to feel like you're constantly running to catch up with an image of success that just won't stop moving ahead. And now, what I wish adults here... But here's where I think we need to rethink our whole perspective on peer pressure. You see, I've never actually had my friends attempt to coerce me into doing anything risky. In fact, it's usually quite the opposite. They're the ones making sure I'm staying on top of my responsibilities, like my chores or my homework. See, I've never had this problem of them attempting to coerce me into doing this. So when we talk about peer pressure, it's important to remember it's not always about the bad stuff. In light, there is darkness, and in darkness, there is light. There's no one method is fully bad, and the same thing applies to peer pressure. So I hope when we talk about peer pressure, you guys will remember this. What I'm asking for from adults here today is just understanding, plain and simple. We need you to realize that peer pressure these days is different from what it was like back then. We need you to give us space to be authentic, to learn, and to grow at our own pace without the constant weight of unrealistic expectations weighing down upon us. Because after all, comparison is the thief of joy. So if we want to protect the well-being of teens today, we just need to stop feeding the thief. Thank you.